Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Trucker Trey here, bringing you guys another video. Today, what I'm pretty much going to be doing is going over 5 things I wish somebody would have told me when I first started off trucking. So I'm going to go ahead and get straight into the video. The first thing I wish somebody would have told me when I first got into trucking was don't expect too much pay when you first start off. And also another thing is a lot of these big mega carrier truck carriers, they don't really care about you as a trucker or employee. Luckily, I haven't had that issue, but I've had many friends from different, I'm not going to name any companies or anything like that, but I've had many friends, many people I know that have worked with mega carriers, and they had issues with the people they were working with. They weren't getting paid as much but I was a 1099, so it's a little different. But just don't expect much of a high pay rate cent per mile wise. Just starting off the game, you really got to stay there for about a year to put the hard work in, get the experience, and then level up after that. Go back in your second year and try to negotiate for higher pay, or after 6 months or whatever, 3, 6, 9, 12 months, whatever. Ask for higher pay rate at that point. But when you first coming in, you really don't want to expect much. Probably about, as far as a company driver, probably about $1,000 to $1,300 a week as a company driver. Luckily, I went 1099 contractor, so I didn't have to go through that myself. The second thing here is I wish I knew when I first started was to start up an LLC as soon as I got on my own. I wish I would have started up my LLC. The reason why I say that is because when you switch from company to company to company, your employment history restarts. And a lot of times when you're trying to get a house or anything like that, any type of loans, you need like 2 years of work history. And usually they want it through the same company. So when you swap company to company to company, your work history kind of restarts itself. Whereas if I would have started my LLC, as soon as I started, as soon as I got my contract to Prime, I would have had that work history. Now, granted, I started mine around July, so I only missed out on probably about 4 or 5 months of being with Prime. But if I would have started sooner, that would have been 4 months added onto my work history. And it would have, it sped up the process of me buying a house or getting loans and all this other stuff through my business. One thing I wish I would have known was not to bank with Chase for business. I don't know if it's like this for all banks, but for Chase, you have to have that 2 year or 18 or year and a half mark before you can go out and get lending and for housing or anything like that, because it's commission based. Also, that's just pretty much at all for their business accounts. Now, I'm not sure if Navy Federal or other credit unions are like this, but I'm pretty sure Navy Federal credit unions, they're more lenient with it. You can get a loan a little faster than 2 years. But that's just from what I've heard. I haven't actually done any research on it yet. The third thing that I wish I would have known starting off was to find a company that trains you in manual. The main thing about this is, one, it lets that restriction, that manual restriction, and takes it off, where you won't even have to worry about it because it won't have it on there. But eventually when you go to get your own truck, you don't have to pay someone to teach you or have a friend or somebody to teach you how to drive manual. You kind of learn that initially. Also, the prices of trucks for automatic and manual, there's a huge difference. You have to pay a lot more for an automatic truck compared to buying a manual truck, because not a lot of people nowadays know how to drive manual. And automatic is just easier, overall to drive. You don't have to worry about switching gears or grinding gears or any of that. It just kind of does it all on its own, the whole automatic feature. But I wish that I would have started or found a company that train me into manual. That way I wouldn't have had that restriction and then have to go through everything to take it off. The fourth thing that I wish somebody would have taught me, and this is more of like managing once you are there, but learn how to manage your clock and your loads. And that's kind of goes along with experience. But one thing I will say is, most of the time it's best to say if you have a delivery in the morning time and they have overnight parking, make sure you always park at your 90 or your delivery address instead of parking at like a Love's or anything, a truck stop beforehand. You might want to just swing by the truck stop, pick up whatever you need to have, and go ahead and head over to the delivery. That way you don't have to start your clock, and when they're unloading you, you don't have to worry about your 14 running down. You don't have to worry about your 14 running down on you while you're waiting for them to unload you and everything like that. So it is important to, even if you, now some places like if you work with married kids, you got to do an arrival. You could arrive there, stay there for a little bit, check in, do whatever you got to do. Stay there for about 15 so you can get your unload, your load or your unload, which is pre-trip inspection. And go ahead, if it's close by, you could PC up out of there. You know what I mean? And then just PC back in the morning. PCing around the yard before your appointment time. That way you just save your clock. Save as much clock as you want to, because that 14, unless you're doing a 7-2 split, or a 7-3 split or 8-2 split, then it, but it's always important to save your 14. That way you're always able to constantly grow. Now, the last thing that I wish somebody told me that I kind of took advantage of a little bit, but not so much towards the end, was go out and explore. Although we can't just, you don't really want to stop in the middle of your day and, go out and explore and do whatever. But because our main job is just to get the load from point A to point B. But one thing that I would tell you is those days that you have, you might be in a city like Houston, Dallas, Miami. I've been there plenty of times, and I've had probably a good amount of time where I got there and I stayed the night and my appointment wasn't until later on in the day. It's important that you can go out, get a little Uber, go out, have some good time, enjoy your time out there a little bit while you're out there. Because if you're gonna spend a night out in one of these bigger cities, you might just want to go ahead and get out and explore for a little bit. Call you an Uber. It's good to go out every now and then. That way you don't go insane sitting inside your truck all the time. But I got so big on to grinding and making as much money as possible, and going to sleep, coming right back up, doing whatever, barely leaving my truck, that it kind of, I had to take this huge break off of trucking. I haven't drove in about a month now. Ever since I left Prime, I haven't drove in about a month. Mostly spent the paperwork, finding the perfect truck. Now my truck's done, and I'm just waiting for them to change out a few seals for me to go and hit the road. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. I will try to post a few more videos here and there until my truck gets ready. And after that point, I'll go ahead and show you guys like a breakdown of my first load and my weekly loads and stuff like that, so you guys get a first-hand view of it. But hopefully you guys did hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.